So if you want to begin in Heart Opening Savasana, just go ahead and bring the blocks underneath your back, one or both. You're welcome. And do you have blocks, Sorry. Okay. Um, so we're going to go ahead and begin there. So you can begin with one or two underneath your back. You can either just have the flattest one right across the bottoms of your shoulder blades and lay across, or you can take the taller side, or second tallest side between the shoulder blades and then another one behind your head. So depending on how much you want to open your chest and whatever is most comfortable for your back, your shoulders. So go ahead and as you settle back, start to let your arms fall next to you so that you can anchor into that prop and start to open the heart. And as you open the heart and as we start to settle into this place, just kind of letting all the good energy in and the good intentions, lots of space. And when we begin this way, it already, the very beginning right away, lets compassion in, compassion for your body, for yourself, and then for the world around you. We tend to get really closed off in our chest and in our heart, front of the body, and then it starts to cause some shoulder, neck pain. So if we allow the weight of the arms and the back behind the heart to be a little lifted, it allows the chest muscles to kind of slide outside to side, trying to let some of that congestion out of the front of the body while letting in that light, that good energy and love. So as you settle back here, the more your heart opens, the more you take the breaths in and the more settled you get into this pose. Start to go ahead and think about an intention or dedication. Think about what you'd like to achieve most in this practice. Think about the things that you'd love to be rid of. The things that mean the most to you. Letting them in more to crowd out everything that you don't need and that you want to be rid of, that you need to be rid of. So if you kind of move your arms out to the sides in a T position with the palms facing up, you feel a little bit different stretch. Just take a long round of breath there. Inhale. Allow that breath to expand and open up your chest, your heart. And let that breath out. Good. And then from there, go ahead and start to slide your heels back, so your feet back. Bring the bottoms of the feet together and just let the knees fall open. So see where you are in the front of the hips as well, front of the pelvis. Your feet can be as close or as far away from you as you need them to be in order to allow some space to come in. If you have them in really close and it's very sensitive in the fronts of the hips, because you may be super tight there, you just might move the feet away a little bit. Take a couple long rounds of breath in. Allow the knees to open or allow yourself to feel what is not open and needs to be. And take another. And go ahead and take one more breath here. This time, take the breath in super deep all the way into the pelvis. And then as you let the breath out, let it out softly through your mouth. Just let the entire breath go. Exhale super long until it's all out. Good. And then right from there, go ahead and start to lift the knees up. Let your arms come down by your sides. Go ahead and widen out the feet about mat width apart. Maybe you gently just rock the knees side to side a little bit here, getting back into the fronts of those hips, kind of evening out. And then from there, move the arms in kind of close, your elbows in, press into the mat with the arms or the elbows so that you can lift up and take the props out from underneath your back. So if you have the blocks underneath your heart, underneath your shoulder blades or head, go ahead and remove them, slide them out to the side, keep them close, but go ahead and bring the knees into the chest. Rock it out side to side here just a couple times. Big breath in and let it out. Good. And then go ahead and extend both legs up toward the ceiling. And then as you do, let your knees be soft, your toes be soft. Let your fingers reach up to the ceiling and just let your shoulders, your shoulder blades kind of settle into the mat as your bones stack. Let your hands and your wrists be soft. So let your hands hang. Dead bug pose here. Take a couple rounds of breath in and let it out. Good. Then go ahead and take your right fingertips to the back of your right calf and start to pull that leg in towards you as you let the left leg hover over the mat. Start to breathe into that hamstring stretch. Maybe pick the head, neck, and shoulders up here as you pull the forehead into the knee into forehead, and just feel it start to open. And as that left leg hovers and your core is engaged, feel the stretch in the leg. Then go ahead and slowly lay the head, neck, and shoulders back down onto the mat. Let the left leg come down to the mat. Keep the right leg in the right hand. Left arm out to the side, and then just go ahead and rock that right leg side to side. Just get into that hip joint. See if you're a little tight laterally as you move that leg back and forth. Then go ahead and bend into that right knee. Take the right hand onto the right knee and draw big circles in both directions with that knee. Feel that movement in the hip joint. Feel yourself kind of lubricate and start to move that around as we get into the hips. Good. And then from there, go ahead and extend both legs back up to the ceiling once again. Go ahead and extend both legs up to the ceiling, or both arms up to the ceiling, fingertips. And then from here, keeping the legs soft, the ankles soft, go ahead and interlace your fingers. Bring your hands behind your head and let your head rest on those fingers, elbows wide. Feel that upper back settle into the mat, and then just heavily rock your hips side to side. So the legs are heavy, the bones are stacking, and you're just feeling that massage on the lower back. Take it back and forth a couple of times. Good. And then from there, go ahead and release the hands from behind the head and go ahead and take both sets of fingertips to your left calf. Go ahead and start to draw that left leg in. Let the right leg descend toward the mat. Hover it there. And then go ahead and pick your head, neck, and shoulders up here. Pull that leg in, pull that knee in. Feel the forehead of knee nice and strong here as you get deep into that stretch. And then go ahead and slowly lay the head, neck, and shoulders back down. The right leg comes to the mat, left leg into the left hand, right arm out to the side, and gently take that leg side to side in the hip joint. Just take it over to the left, cross it back over the body, over to the left, and back over the body. Bend into that left knee, take that left hand onto the left knee, and just draw big circles. Both directions, all directions with that left leg, that left knee. Good. And then from there, go ahead and release it. Bring both knees into the center. Give yourself a hug here and pull in tight. Go ahead and bring the hands behind the knees. Rock and roll your spine a couple of times and go ahead and come all the way through to seated and swing around to sit down onto your shins. As you come around onto your shins, go ahead and sit back on your feet. Inhale, circle the arms right up overhead. Interlace the fingers up overhead and flip those hands over. Stretch through those hands. Go ahead and look up. Stretch through the palms of the hands. And then go ahead and start to take the head forward. Flip the hands over and draw those arms down in front of you. Round and scoop your your belly back. And then go ahead and inhale. Reach the hands back up overhead. Flip them over. Kind of take that slight back bend, heart lift. Look up maybe. And then exhale. Bring it through center. Then inhale once more, up Good. And then go ahead and release your right fingertips down to the floor as you take a tip and reach over. Reach through that side. Let that left hip sink down off of the foot and feel yourself lengthen. Take one more breath here. And then go ahead and release it. Bring it all the way through and we'll switch sides. We'll hold this first couple of breaths here into this side. Let that hip sink, lengthen through the waist. Good, and then we'll take it back and forth a couple of times. So go ahead and release that hand, reach that arm over, stretch, bring it through center, and switch. And then one more time each side as you really reach and pull up through that hand. Feel that length in the waist. And bring it back last time. Good. Then right from there, go ahead and sweep those hands forward onto the mat. Go ahead and come into tabletop position. And as you get here, just go ahead and take your right knee, draw it forward towards your wrist and cross your right leg in front of your left. Go ahead and squeeze those thighs together. We're just going to go ahead and take a little bit of a squeezing these legs together in shoelace in cat-cow gives us a little stretch in the hips. So go ahead and inhale, drop your belly and look up, squeeze those thighs together. And then as you keep squeezing, round up through a cat back. Inhale, drop the belly and look up. Good, and then exhale, round up and squeeze. Take one more round on this side. And exhale, round up. Good, and then right from there, go ahead and let that right knee come forward again, uncross it, and take it to the other side. Left leg comes across. Cross it in front of the right leg, press down through those hands, those knees. Inhale, drop the belly and look up. Exhale, round up. Inhale, drop. And exhale, round. I'm going to take one more. And round. Good, and then go ahead and uncross that left leg. And as you come to tabletop here, just go ahead and start to lift your right heel up behind you. Leg is 90 degrees. Go ahead and press through the heel. Use that glute and that hamstring to keep pressing that heel, flat foot up to the sky, and make sure your hips are square here. So try not to peel up and kick up and back, just straight up to the ceiling. Big round of breath in here, and then exhale, draw it in knee to nose. Press through the hands and the knee. Then inhale, press that foot up once again here. And exhale, draw it in knee to nose. And then from there, as you drop into that knee next time, go ahead and straighten out through that leg, kick back through the heel, and reach your left arm forward. Nice length through that side, cross body balance. And then go ahead and place both down onto the mat. Go ahead and come through to the other side. Left heel presses up. Use that left glute and hamstring to squeeze and lift up into that heel. Square your hips off. Make sure they're nice and square behind you. And then exhale, draw in knee to nose. Exhale, draw it up and into that kick. Draw it in knee to nose once more. And kick it up. Then from here, go ahead and kick out through that heel, straight back behind you, parallel to the floor with the leg, and then reach the right arm forward. Cross body balance here, igniting that core right away, feeling that balance kick in, and then go ahead and release both back down to the mat. Right from here, go ahead and tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back into dog, and wag your tail side to side. And as you come through this dog, just go ahead and step your feet in a little bit so you get a little bit shorter. Maybe bend a little bit into the elbows, into the knees, and press the belly back to the thighs. Let your head hang here, shake it around yes and no. Feel your stretch starting to happen. And then go ahead and straighten through the knees a little bit. Walk your feet forward and go ahead and come into your rag doll here, starting to open up through that back body a little bit before we move on. So as you let your upper body hang toward the mat, just go ahead and loosen through the shoulders, through the neck. Let the head be heavy, arm bones are heavy, and breathe into your hamstrings, into your hips, and into that lower back. Take it side to side, front to back. Good, and then keeping the legs kind of still, take that upper body, bring it all the way over to the right, outside the right leg, and then bring it through center and take it outside the left leg. Good. And then go ahead and bring it back through center. Right from here, let your hands come to the floor, place them onto the mat, and step back into dog. As the hips press up and back, wag your tail side to side, and then go ahead and bring the knees down to the mat. As you come down onto the knees, go ahead and keep the left toes tucked as you kick that right heel up and back into that glute, into that hamstring. And then right from there, press through your hands strong. Use your hands more than your left foot. Press that leg up and back and into three-legged dog. Exhale, stack your hip and bend your knee. So keep pressing that foot over to the right side of the body. Feel the hips stack and open. Good. Then exhale, draw it forward, knee to nose and up and back. Good. And then from there, go ahead and draw it forward, knee to nose, and then lightly land that left knee back onto the mat. Land the right knee onto the mat and push your hips back to your heels. Take that little sway side to side with your hips. And we're going to go ahead and come back up to all fours through a cat back and do the same thing other side. So kick up through that left heel. Use that left glute nice and strong. Tuck your right toes and lift yourself up and back into three-legged dog. Exhale, stack the hip, bend the knee. Feel that hip open as the foot presses over to the right side of the room. Big stretch here. Right heel melts toward the mat, maybe. Gets a little closer. Good. Then draw it in, knee to nose and up and back. And then draw it in, knee to nose here. And as you draw in, knee to nose, use your core to keep it strong and lightly drop your right knee. Then bring the left knee to the mat and sit back into child's pose. Wag the tail side to side here. Go ahead and come all the way up through a cat back, tuck your toes and lift up and back into dog. Take a walk right up to the top of the mat. So as you walk up to the top of the mat here, go ahead and inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold it in and root to rise. Come all the way up to stand. Go ahead and bend your left elbow. Let it drop down between your shoulder blades. Grab that left elbow with your right fingertips, lengthen up through the waist, and take your tip to the right. Feel yourself open through this side. This first one will hold here as you lengthen through that side. If it feels better to maybe grab the wrist and pull it over, you can do that as well. But we're opening through that tricep and through that armpit. And then go ahead and release it through center and switch sides. Go ahead and grab that right elbow, take it up and over, and just take it to hold here a little bit. Press the hips out to the right. Feel all four corners of both feet onto the mat. Long round of breath in and let it go. Good. Then reach both arms up overhead. Swan dive out to the sides to the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back, dog. And go ahead and come to table. Go ahead and kick that right heel up to the sky, super strong through your shoulders, through your hands. Tuck your left toes and lift up and back. Three-legged dog. Stack the hip, bend the knee. Good. Then from there, go ahead and draw that knee forward into nose and up and back. Go ahead and draw it up to step it up between your hands. Keep the left fingertips on the floor and spin open here. Twisted lunge. Big round of breath in and let it out. Go ahead and take those hands down to the mat or to the blocks, and we're going to come through that long pyramid. So go ahead and straighten through your right leg. Feel yourself, if the hands are on the blocks, feel the hands kind of resting there as the right hip draws back. Feel yourself stretch into that right side. Big round of breath in and let it out. Right from there, start to lift the chest up, drop the left knee to the mat, and circle the arms up overhead. Go ahead and grab your opposing elbows to take a back bend heart lift here. Good. And then go ahead and release those hands together in prayer at heart center. And we're going to tip forward here. Go ahead and start to bring that left elbow outside the right knee and twist as you lift your left knee. Keep looking down to the mat in front of you and squeeze to the midline. Super strong here. Right elbow points up. Keep squeezing. Stay strong, wringing out. And then go ahead and release hands to the blocks. Once again, drop that left knee and reach the arms up overhead. Right from here, arms come right back down to the mat, fingertips on the floor, and lift up and step right back to dog. Go ahead and wag your tail side to side here. As you wag out, take a long round of breath in and let it out. Go ahead and drop right back to your knees to table. Go ahead and kick that left leg up behind you, feeling that 90-degree leg and heel up toward the sky. Tuck your right toes, lift your hips up and back into three-legged dog, and stack your hip, bend your knee. Exhale, draw it forward, knee to nose, and up and back. And then draw it all the way through to step it up between the hands and come to your twisted lunge. Left side, left fingertips reach up. Feel yourself strong through your legs. Then left arm comes around, both hands come to the block. Go ahead and straighten through that left leg, that super long pyramid. Inhale, half lift. Draw that left hip back and fold in. Then lift the chest and drop your right knee. Come down into that low lunge. Reach your arms up overhead. Grab your opposing elbows and take that heart lift. Good. Then release those hands together in prayer. Tip it forward. Take that prayer twist left as you lift that right knee. Squeeze to the midline super strong through those legs and keep pressing to the middle with your legs. Good. Then from there, go ahead and drop the hands to the blocks. Drop your right knee. Lift the arms up overhead and then take them back to the mat. This time, step right up to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift here. Exhale, fold it in and rise it up to stand. Dive through center. Inhale, lift. And exhale, go ahead and flow back through your vinyasa. Take your flow here any way that you wish. Good. Right from there, go ahead and bend both knees a lot and take a walk up to the top of the mat. As we come to the top of the mat, go ahead and inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, heel toe your feet out to mat width apart and they're parallel. We're gonna drop into bear pose here. So belly is on the thighs, hips are back. Arms reach out to the sides and squeeze the shoulder blades together, or bring those arms out in front of you. Keep the core super tight, back parallel to the floor, belly parallel to the floor. One big breath and exhale it out, fold over. Inhale, lift, heel toe your feet in once. Place your left hand down onto the mat, bend your left knee and right arm lifts as right leg straightens. Exhale, switch sides, right hand on the mat. Same thing, other side, and then drop it to center. Inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. Rise it up to stand. Go ahead and drop that left elbow down or left hand down between the shoulders. Take it up and over to the right. Back through center and switch sides. Take it over to the left. Bring it back up through the middle. Swan dive to the floor. Inhale, lift, and exhale, plant your hands, step back to dog. Go ahead and drop right down into table. Press the knees up from the floor, hovering table. Drop the left knee, lift the right heel up toward the sky, tuck those toes and lift up and back. Three-legged dog, stack the hip, bend the knee. Draw it forward, knee to nose, and up and back. Draw it forward to step it up between the hands and grab those blocks. Take that long stance, that big stretch. Oh, I forgot the twist. Go ahead, left hand to the floor. Keep the knee bent and twist open here. Twisted lunge, sorry about that. Good, and then go ahead and bring both hands to the blocks and then straighten through that leg. Super long pyramid. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold in. Then half lift the spine again. Drop your left knee. Chest goes forward and up. Arms up overhead. And take that slight back bend. Good, and then go ahead and bring those hands through center. Prayer twist right as you lift that back knee and squeeze to the midline. Good, then release that knee to the floor, arms up overhead. Good, and then take a big wide opening, heart opening here. From here, we're gonna go ahead and bring the hands together in prayer down through heart center. We're gonna come back to that grabbing the elbow, so reach the arms up overhead. You're gonna squeeze to the midline and lift your left knee up off the floor into high lunge. Go ahead and take a little twist to the right. Keep the hips square. Good, and then release it back to center. Go ahead and bring both hands back down to the mat. Step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift here. Exhale, fold and rise. Flow all the way through vinyasa here. Inhale, lift. And exhale, step back. Go right through chaturanga, nice and strong. Inhale it up and exhale it back. Take a walk up to the top of the mat. Widen out the feet, mat width apart. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, come right into bear pose. Just parallel to the floor, sit the hips way back. Maybe rock up onto the toes here to balance this time. You can add that in. Good, and then exhale, land the heels, fold it over. Inhale, heel toe in once. Take that left hand in front of the left foot and twist open to the right. Switch sides. Good, and then bring it back through the middle. Inhale, lift, and exhale, rise. Come all the way up to stand. Take that either, it doesn't matter which arm first. Drop that hand, take it up and over. Bring it back to center and switch sides. Take that stretch. Use your core to bring you back. Then go ahead and swan dive forward to the mat. Inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. Step back to dog. Go ahead and drop knees to the mat. Then press into the hands, hover over the mat. Drop your right knee, lift your left toe, left foot, and then push up and back into three-legged dog. Sorry, guys, I don't know what my brain is thinking. Go ahead and open those hips and kick over to that side. Good, exhale, bring it forward, knee to nose, and up and back. Then step it up between the hands. Keep those right fingertips on the floor and spin open, reach up. Good, and then both hands to the block, straighten through that left leg. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Drop that right knee to the mat, lift the chest, and bring those arms up overhead. Take that heart lift, lift up. And then exhale, bring the hands together in prayer as you tip forward and prayer twist, lifting that right leg super strong. Squeeze. Good, and then release that knee back to the floor. Reach the arms up overhead, take a heart opener, reach back, squeeze back. Exhale, bring the hands together in prayer, and then take them overhead, grab those opposing elbows, and come up to the top. Super strong. Twist a little bit to the left. Bring it back to center. Fly your arms back and your heart forward this time. Good, and then release hands to the block, step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift here. Exhale, fold and rise. Flow all the way through vinyasa and up and back into dog. Go ahead and take it all the way through, or just hold dog or plank and push back. Good, and then go ahead and take the knees to the mat and push back to child's pose. Take a couple rounds of breath here. If you need a sip of water, go ahead and grab it. It's not cold in here today, but I'm surprised. Really surprised. Okay. So we're going to flow through that some more. Going to add on a little bit of strengthening to it. Before we move on, we're here in child's pose. So just go ahead and as you're in child's pose, let your forehead be onto the mat. Take your arms, one arm at a time, to your lower back with the palms facing up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then go ahead and exhale. Let the shoulders kind of hang down toward the floor. So you feel this kind of stretch across the back of the heart. We opened up the front of the heart in the beginning. I'm going to continue to stretch and open all sides. Good. Then right from there, if you can, interlace your fingers. Maybe you lift those arms up. If it feels better, if it's you're already down too far, go ahead and start to lift all the way up to seated. Keep your knees apart. So you're just going to keep that little bit of a child's pose stance with the knees. Interlace your fingers and let them drop down towards your feet. Lift your heart, lift your chin. and just pull those arms back. Big stretch in the heart, the chest. Take the arms side to side. Good. Then from there, let your head fall forward. Let your arms relax, your hands relax down to your tailbone. Bring the knees right next to each other. So you're seated on your feet. Inhale, lengthen up through the chest, through the heart. Lift those arms. And then we're going to go ahead and start to tuck your chin. Keep the arms back there. Tuck your chin as tight as you can. Roll in. Bring your forehead to your knees. And then come on to the crown of the head, if you can, and lift the arms higher. Coming into this rabbit pose to stretch the shoulders, opening up, long rounds of breath in and out. Then slowly start to lower those arms down and then start to roll the spine back up to the top. Release those arms up overhead to take a big reach up overhead, interlace those fingers, flip the hands over just like we did in the beginning, and then exhale, bring them down toward the knees. Good. Then right from there, release those hands down to the mat. Go ahead and place the hands onto the mat, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up and back into dog. Wag your tail side to side and go ahead and take a walk up to the top of the mat. When you get there, widen your feet out, mat width apart. Inhale, half lift here. Exhale, drop right into bear pose. So hips drop back, belly is parallel to the floor, and arms out to the sides or straight out in front of you. Sit low, get the hips back, knees over ankles to the point almost where you feel like the front of the foot is going to come up off of the floor. You might come up onto the tippy toes and work on that strengthening, that balance. Take one more breath. And then exhale, release hands to the floor, fold over. Heel toe the feet in once. Drop your left hand onto the mat in front of the left foot, right arm spins open. Exhale, switch sides and take the other. Good, then drop that hand to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold it in and rise it up to stand. Take that right hand down or the left hand down. Grab the elbow and take it over. Switch sides and bring it over the other way. Good, then back to the middle. Swan dive to the floor. Inhale, lift. And exhale, step back to dog. Drop the knees to the mat. Press the knees up off of the mat to hover. And then drop the left knee, lift the right heel. Keep those toes tucked, lift up and back, three-legged dog, stack the hip, bend the knee. Bring it in knee to nose, super tight core, and up and back. Step it up between the hands and take that twist, right arm spins open. Exhale, bring the hands to the blocks if you need them, and straighten through that right leg. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw that right hip back and fold in. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, drop the left knee. Circle the arms up overhead, grab those elbows and take a heart lift. Exhale, release those hands forward to heart and tip forward. Start to come into that prayer twist lunge, lifting the knee. Then go ahead and slowly descend that knee to the floor, reach the arms back up overhead, grab the opposing elbows right away here this time, squeeze up to the top and take that twist to the right. Then release it to center and fly those arms back, heart forward. Now this time, go ahead and grab those blocks, walk them forward a little bit, weight into the right leg, lift into warrior three leg. So not standing splits, left leg is parallel with the floor and toes point straight down. Spin that inner thigh up toward the ceiling. Balance gently onto your fingertips on the block if you can. And then from here, bend into your right knee a little bit and then exhale, lift. So everything's staying parallel to the floor. You're just bending a little bit and then pressing into it to lift back up and then once more. Good, then from here, maybe your hands come to that right leg and press down. One or both, press into that leg and see if you can balance here. Your core is super tight. Big round of breath in, and then exhale, land that left foot next to the right. Inhale, half lift your spine here. Exhale, fold it in and rise. Bring yourself all the way through center. Half lift and flow back through vinyasa. And take it back. Big round of breath in. Exhale, bend the knees and take it up to the top of the mat to come to that bear pose. Once you get there, inhale, half lift. Exhale, step your feet out wide and come right into bear pose. Sit back strong, strong core, strong back, strong legs. Maybe rock forward up onto the tippy toes. Maybe squeeze the shoulder blades. One more breath. And then exhale, fold it over. Inhale, lift and heel toe in once. Place the left hand onto the mat, spin open, right arm, right leg is straight. Bring it through center and switch sides. Good, then back through center. Inhale, lift, and exhale, rise. Come all the way up to stand. Drop either hand to the center of the back, lengthen up through the waist and take it over. Bring it back through center, use that core and switch sides. Good, then from there, swan dive it to the mat forward. Inhale, lift, and step back to strong dog, hips up and back. Drop the knees to the mat. Press the knees away from the mat to hover briefly. This time, go ahead and lower right knee, lift left foot, and come up and back through three-legged dog, left leg lift, stack the hip, bend the knee. Good, then bring it through, knee to nose, and up and back. Bring it through to step it up. And then come through that twisted lunge. Left arm spins open. Exhale, grab those blocks and straighten through that long pyramid. Inhale, lift the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the spine again. Softly land the knee and reach those arms up overhead. Grab those elbows, take a heart lift, and then bring the hands through prayer, lean forward, and prayer twist, lift the right knee. And then try to land softly, unwinding the arms, knee to the floor, arms reach up overhead. Grab those opposing elbows and squeeze all the way up to the top. Take a little twist to the left. Bring it back to center and fly. Arms back, heart forward. Strong back leg. Hands come to the block, walk them forward, and lift up warrior three leg. And as you come up onto those fingertips, balancing, right toes point down, back is nice and flat. Bend a little bit into your left knee and straighten back up. Maybe you lift up all 5 toes as you do this. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Maybe one or both hands leave the blocks and pull up on that leg. Good, and then land that right foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, rise it all the way up to stand and flow all the way through vinyasa, up and back into down dog. And as you come to dog, go ahead and wag that tail out side to side. And then go ahead and take yourself into child's pose. As you come down through child's, go ahead and let yourself settle back. Take a couple rounds of breath. Take one more big breath. All right. Now from here, go ahead and bring yourself up to all fours, back into dog. We're just going to come up to do a little bit of balancing before we flow again. So just go ahead and walk your feet forward through to your hands. Take a ragdoll here. Let your feet be loose and let your upper body hang forward. Just wag it side to side. Feel the upper body nice and loose. Start to think about your feet grounding and the balance that you've created within. Good. And then go ahead and slowly, softly bend your knees and roll all the way up to stand. As you come up to the top, circle the arms up overhead. Bring the hands down through center and start to set up tree on your right side. So as you come to set up tree, bring it to wherever you need that foot to be. Take your time getting that tree first and getting that tall, that rooting down and the tall spine. Then from there, go ahead and let your right hand, your right top of your right hand come to your right knee, left arm reaches up. And then if you can from there, lean a little bit into that right elbow and let your left arm reach over. If it's just standing up straight and the right hand is on the knee, that's your tree blowing in the wind. Keep your gaze soft and on one place. Beautiful, you guys. Go ahead and bring it back through center. Bring that right knee forward and right foot to the floor. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, dive through center. Half lift and flow through vinyasa. This time as we come through chaturanga, inhale, lift it up, and exhale, bring it back, and go ahead and step right up to the top of the mat. When you get there, go ahead and inhale, half lift here, exhale, fold and rise, and then come right into starting to set up your left leg. And as you come through that left side, set your foundation first. And then get ready to drop that left hand onto the left knee. Take your time, reach the right arm up and over, and maybe tip here, maybe stretch. Good, and then release that through center, knee forward, foot down to the floor. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead once again. Exhale, dive through center. Half lift. Exhale, step back to plank this time. Lower all the way down onto your belly. We're going to come through a little spine strengthening before we move on. So as you come down onto the belly, bring those arms into cactus. Go ahead and lift up into a baby cobra, squeezing back into those shoulders, and then exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and squeeze, and exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and squeeze, and lower. Bring the hands on either side of the chest. Go ahead and bring those elbows back and press up into a higher cobra if possible. And then exhale, lower it down. Hands onto the mat, tuck the toes, press yourself up and back into dog. Slide forward to plank. Bring the weight onto the right hand, move it if you need to a little bit, and heels go to the right, side plank right. Left arm lifts. Exhale, go ahead and switch sides, left hand to the mat, and take that right arm up. Good, then bring that right hand to the mat. Go ahead and lower through chaturanga. Inhale it up, and exhale it back into dog. Take that walk back up to the top of the mat. And we're going to come through that balancing once more before we start the sequence again. So go ahead and come all the way up to the top and come right into setting up your right leg into tree. And as you come to that place, go ahead and bring the right hand to the right leg. The left arm lifts up and take that tip if you can. Your leg may be up higher in your leg. Beautiful. Release it and bring that knee forward, foot to the floor. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, dive through center and flow. Flow through to the other side and bring it back to dog. Take that walk up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. Bring yourself through tree. Left side, take your time setting it up, bringing yourself to wherever you need to be. And then release that left arm and right arm up. Take that tip if you can. Core is super tight. You're rooting down through the earth on that right side. Good, and then release to center, left foot to the floor. Inhale the arms up overhead. This time, we're gonna go ahead and take that forward fold. We're gonna start that other sequence. Fingertips to the floor, heel toe your feet out. Drop right into bear pose. Sit back and sit low. So belly's parallel to the floor, back parallel to the floor. Take one more breath and exhale, fold it over. Heel toe the feet in once, left hand to the floor, spin open. And then exhale, switch sides. Left hand lifts. Back to the floor, inhale, lift, and exhale, rise. Drop either hand and take that tip. Switch sides and tip to the other side. Back to the middle and swan dive it forward. Inhale, lift, and exhale, step back to dog. Knees come to the mat. Press into the mat to hover the knees. Drop the left knee, right foot lifts. Take it up and back, three-legged dog, stack the hip, bend the knee. Draw it in knee to nose and up and back. Draw it up to step it up between the hands and spin open left arm. Right hand comes down, they come to the blocks, straighten through the legs. Take a long round of breath in to lengthen. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, lift the spine and softly drop that left knee. Reach the arms up overhead. Grab those opposing elbows, back bend. Hands together in prayer and twist to the right. Squeeze. Super strong. And then slowly, softly release that left knee to the earth. Grab those opposing elbows and lift up to high lunge and take a twist to the right. Bring it back to center to fly the heart forward, arms back. And then bring those hands to the block, walk them forward, warrior three leg. Fingertips balancing here. Bend the knee and lift. Bend the knee and lift. Bend the knee and lift. Land that left foot. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead and dive through center. Go ahead and flow all the way through vinyasa and back to dog. Bend both knees to make your way to the top of the mat. Come to that bear pose, that bear stance. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, set into your bear. You could balance on the toes. You could just stay strong and low. Exhale, fold it over. Inhale, lift. And exhale, place that left hand in front of left foot, twist open right arm. And exhale, switch sides. Good, then bring it to center, half lift. Exhale, fold and rise it up to stand. Bend either elbow first and take it up and over. Back through center and switch. And then bring it to swan dive. Inhale, lift, and step back to dog. Come to table. And then hovering table. Land your right knee, lift your left heel, and come up and back, three-legged dog. Stack the hip, bend the knee. Draw it forward, knee to nose, and up and back. And then step it up between the hands to come to twisting lunge. Spin that left arm open. Beautiful. Exhale, bring the hands to the blocks, straighten through that super long pyramid. And exhale, fold in super long. Inhale, lift your heart, softly land that left knee. Circle the arms up overhead, grab the opposing elbows, and take that heart lift. Good, then release that, bring the hands together in prayer, and take prayer twist, lift that back knee. Good, squeezing to that midline, and then slowly landing the left or the right knee once again, reach the arms up overhead, grab those opposing elbows, squeeze all the way up to the top, high lunge, super strong, and then take that twist a little bit to your left. Bring it back to center, fly the arms back, heart forward. Beautiful, then bring the hands to the blocks, walk them forward, and lift into that warrior three leg. Bend the knee a little bit, and then straighten, bend and straighten, bend and straighten, and then maybe let the hands leave the block. Hold it here and keep pressing through that standing foot, pulling up on the leg and feeling your balance here. Go ahead and drop that back foot. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, flow all the way back and through vinyasa. Take your flow. Once you make it back to dog, bring yourself to child's. Good. Drop back down onto those knees, fold forward. Feel your upper body reach forward, your arms reach forward. Take a couple of rounds of breath. Good. Completely let them out. All right. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and come up to all fours. Go ahead and walk those legs through and come around to seated. You're going to come all the way down onto your back, onto your mat. Bring your blocks close by. And as you come down onto the floor, onto your back, just go ahead and pull the knees into the chest. Good. Gently rock it out side to side, massaging out that spine. Good. Then right from there, go ahead and bring your feet flat to the floor. Bring your feet in just about hip width apart and let your toes point in the tiniest bit. Heels walk close to you, and you're going to go ahead and lift up into bridge. So lift the hips up off the floor. Maybe press the arms down into the mat. You might interlace the fingers underneath you to kind of karate chop the mat and press in to those interlaced hands into those arms and lift the hips up a little bit higher. Feel the back of the neck nice and long. Big round of breath in and completely let it out. Good. Then on your next out breath, slowly lower the hips halfway down. And then inhale, press back up into those hips. Exhale, lower halfway. And then press back up. Take once more. Lift all the way up. And then roll your spine all the way down to the mat. And as you do, bring the arms overhead. So as the hips hit the mat, arms are overhead, and you're feeling yourself lengthen there. Go ahead and widen out the feet mat width apart as the arms are overhead. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Just feel that stretch, that twist in the waist. Good. Then as you bring the knees back to center, go ahead and bring the feet flat to the floor. We're going to come into that bridge, and this time we're going to support it. So as your feet press into the mat, go ahead and start to lift the hips up. Take the block underneath your sacrum and feel your supported bridge here. As your feet rest onto the mat, your glutes and your hamstrings kind of relax down toward the floor. Arms can be down by your side. You can reach them overhead if it feels better. We're just going to let ourselves relax. Let the glutes and the hamstrings that work so hard to bring us up and back into those three-legged dogs, keeping us in those warrior three legs, relax and surrender toward the mat right now. They become soft over your block and hang toward the floor. Take a few rounds of breath up into the knees and back out. Good. Then right from here with that prop still underneath your sacrum, you're just going to go ahead and keeping the left foot on the floor, start to slide your right heel out. Let that right leg stretch out. You're going to feel an opening in the front of that right hip. Allow your pelvis, your hip bones to be lifted, and the front of that hip flexor thigh to open. But then go ahead and start to slide that right foot back and let the left leg slowly slide out to wherever it will. And feel that lift in the front of your hip. Good. Then go ahead and slowly start to slide that left foot back and making sure that you're nice and stable with that prop underneath your sacrum. Draw your right knee in a little bit towards your chest and then your left knee. And then start to straighten the legs up toward the ceiling. So kind of like we came to in the beginning, legs are suspended up toward the ceiling, knees are soft, ankles are soft. You could reach the arms up as well. You're going to feel a lot more weight in the shoulders here, or you can bring the arms out to the sides in T, or they can come, hands could come behind your head. But just let your legs be suspended here. Feel the toes nice and soft. Feel the bones stack. Take one more big breath. Good. Then from there, start to bend the right knee so toes come towards your glutes, left toes, and then ever so softly land each set of toes down to the mat. Right here, we're going to stretch both legs out if you can. So we're going to stay here just for a few breaths, stretching the legs out, both legs out, and letting the hips be lifted. If it's too much to bring the heels all the way out, just keep your knees bent. Let those heels support you on the floor and just feel the opening in the front of the hips. If you're stretching all the way out to wherever your legs will go, let your feet relax, let your hips be lifted, and breathe. Space, energy right into the front of those hips. All the good in and everything that doesn't serve you out. Take 3 more breaths. Good. And then go ahead and start to slide those feet back. Now, right here, if you're not already on your flattest side of your block, if you're still on the second level, bring it down to the flattest side underneath your sacrum. Go ahead and cross your right leg over your left. Bring the arms out to the sides in T. And then take your hips and bump them a little bit over to the left so that your left glute is kind of off of that block. Let your right leg guide your left leg over, your left knee over into a twist. So hips are lifted. The weight of that right foot is pulling that left knee down, and look over your left arm. Feel the twist in the waist. If that is just too much to have that right leg on top, just do the right ankle on the left leg like figure 4 and let that come over. And just breathe into that side of the hip. Take the twist here, hips lifted, getting a little bit deeper into opening up that waist and that side of the hip. Excuse me. Good. And then go ahead and slowly bring it back through center. Uncross those legs and switch sides, and then move the glutes over to the right. So right glute is off of the block. You're just kind of on that left one. And then use that left leg to draw the right knee over as you roll onto the outside of that right hip or left hip. And look over the right arm. Just breathe into that side of the waist and the outside of that hip. Good. And then go ahead and slowly get ready to bring it back through center. Uncross the legs, press into the mat. Slide the block out unless you want to keep it there for Shavasana. Maybe pull the legs in and hug your knees in. Maybe pick the head, neck, and shoulders up a little bit to bring you into a ball. Rock it out side to side. Or you might bring the feet to the mat and windshield wiper the legs out to even out both sides of your back and hips. And then go ahead and get ready. Take anything else that you need before you bring yourself all the way down into final Shavasana. Let your legs arrange on your mat, arms down by your sides, your palms facing up, and feel yourself fall back and relax into your practice. Take these last few moments to absorb all the good that you just did in the last hour and to settle into your intention. Okay. I'll go ahead and start to gently move through your fingertips, your toes. Bring back a little bit of movement at a time to the hands, the arms and feet, legs. And then get ready to reach your arms all the way back up overhead behind you. As you reach back with the arms, extend through the legs and take a big breath in, stretch it out, and then sigh that breath out, let it go. Inhale, stretch, then sigh it out, let it go. Good, and then go ahead and pull the knees right into the chest. Give them a hug last time as you pull in. Rock yourself side to side a little bit, and then eventually find your favorite side in fetal position, where you can land, settle into your practice, into your intention. Let that intention, dedication go. And then when you're ready, bring yourself up to a comfortable seat. And then as you bring your hands together in prayer here, go ahead and bring that prayer right to your heart and bow your head to your heart, to your prayer. As always, I thank you all for being here and allowing me to guide you through this practice. It is my hope that you feel better now than you did when you came in, that you're able to rid the things that you need to be rid of, and that you're able to let in more peace, light, compassion, and love, and more positive. So now I ask you to bring your prayer right into your third eye, pressing it in. I wish you those peaceful thoughts and all peaceful thoughts. Prayer to your lips, peaceful words, and then prayer to your heart, a peaceful heart for today and always. Have a safe and happy holiday weekend. And until next time, namaste.